guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, the most expensive, or I guess the most risky thing you could do in the game, or at least one of the most risky things, or one of the most biggest investments that you can do in the game is upgrade a legendary. Because let's be honest, upgrading a legendary is no small feat. It takes 3 epics to put in one, even just one upgrade. And we all know how hard one epic is. I mean, you've seen me open tons of 1 million openings, and usually I would get maybe, okay, I think at the grand scheme of things, out of like the millions and millions of packs that I've opened, I think I average 1 epic per million, maybe 1.3 epics, but that isn't possible. So let's just call it 1, run it off 1. I get about 1 epic per 1 million. Sometimes I'm a bit luckier, I get 2 or 3. Sometimes I'm unlucky and I get 0, you know? So it kind of averages out to, I think, 1.3 is my realistic guess, but you can't really have 1.3 as an epic. So yeah, it's hard. So in a sense, you can say that 1 upgrade for 1 legend is 3 million, and it's 15 million to get a fully upgraded legend. And that's only if you think you're going to fuse away all the 15 epics you got. Because the thing about epics is that they're also really, really hard to get. So if you get an epic that's really good, really high in value, obviously you're not going to fuse it away. So you need specific epics to fuse away, basically the crap ones, to invest in a legendary. So what I'm trying to say is that investing in a legendary is not something I take lightly. And as you guys watching as Top Drives players, I don't think investing in a legendary is anything nobody should take lightly. Investing in every single legendary should take a lot of thought, and I think thought, a lot of thought. Yeah, it is thought. But yeah, I feel like it's a lot of thought. A lot of consideration has to be taken into account when it comes to maxing out a legendary. I mean, usually when I upgrade a legendary, I think about, you know, the same criteria. Number 1, how is this car among its competition? Number 2, how is the car that I'm planning to upgrade around its niche? Number 3, how is the car I'm planning to upgrade around the specialization that I'm focusing in my garage. So for example, an American car will always have priority in my garage because that is my specialization, right? And the most important thing, I think this is the thing that a lot of people tend to not consider when they upgrade legendaries. Did Hutch get the stats right? Because the last thing you want to do is upgrade a legendary and in a future update you hear that it gets nerfed. That is the worst thing ever. And that is why I never fully upgraded my Lotus Evora. My Lotus Evora was always 1 upgrade away from being fully upgraded, but I think it's been a year and a half from Bugatti Chiron Sport Final all the way to World Expo as a 2-star legendary. I never wanted to waste 3 more epics because I knew that it was probably going to get nerfed one day, and it did. What I did not expect was the rarity to go down, and also we get the tokens back. So in the end, I didn't lose anything. If anything, I actually gained something because then I could choose a legend that I actually wanted to upgrade those tokens. But that being said, these are things that I always consider. So it's a lot to think about when it comes to upgrading a legendary. Is it going to get nerfed? How useful it's going to be in the long run? How useful is it in my current garage, in its current niche? All these kind of things. So today I want to be ranking every single legendary that I have in my garage that has at least 1 upgrade. So every legendary that you see here, 52 unique legendaries out of my 185 legendaries, 52 of them has at least eaten 3 epics, okay? So today I'm going to tell you why I decided to upgrade what you're going to see. So rank number 1 is just win across the board. I'm completely happy with my decision. No regrets. I use the car all the time. It wins for me all the time. It's great value, just a all-round W. Next up, passion and useful. So this is a car that I wanted to upgrade because passion is like cars that I like, and it also turned out to be useful. Then it was cars that I needed that turned out to be useful. So legendaries that I didn't really necessarily liked, but I knew that it was going to be useful in a meta of some sort, or it's going to be beneficial to my garage, and that's why I upgraded it. And then next we have passion and meh. So these are cars that I like, that I upgraded, but I knew weren't going to help me too much. Then cars that I needed and meh. So this was cars that maybe I needed for a particular tri-series, like the 959, right? Cars I needed for a particular tri-series, and I never used used it again. So yeah, meh is a light way to put it. And last but not least is waste of my resources. Now I know everyone is thinking that the 959 is going to go under waste of my resources. I'll tell you right now, it's not going to go under waste of my resources, because the 959 actually did complete its goal of winning me the Koenigsegg Jesko. So that being said, let's get straight into it. So we're gonna start with the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak, and yeah, we're starting off with a W. To be honest, it's not really that I like the car too much, but I wouldn't say it's a passion, and it just wins me everything. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really like it beforehand, but because it's won me so much, I have grown to love it. Like, in the past, you could say I needed it and it was useful, but it's been so incredibly useful that I just think it's a W across the board. It is a fantastic car. Next up is the Aston Martin Vulcan. This is passion and useful. So obviously I'm an Aston Martin collector. I love Aston Martin. The Vulcan is the best Aston Martin in the entire game. And obviously I just wanted to put in a small upgrade into it to make it slightly better than the other Aston Martin Vulcans out there. And when it comes to Great Exhibition, or any kind of British event, the Vulcan is one of the better cars to use because it has decent MRA, a low 0 to 60, and really good handling. Part of me actually thinks that 93 is a little bit underrated for the Vulcan, but it's a very strong car. I'm very happy. Next up is the Porsche 911 GT2 RS. It's passion, but it's more meh. The problem with the GT2 RS is that in the past, I would say it's passion and useful. I actually have over 8,000 races in this car. It's incredibly useful, but the thing was, it was only useful to me when I was a very, very new player. We need to consider that the 911 GT2 RS from 2011, this one over here, is one of the first legendaries I've ever unpacked. It's one of the oldest legendaries in my garage. So yeah, it was very, very useful early game for me. But if you're gonna ask me now, how recently did I use the Porsche 911 GT2 RS? Honestly, it's been years. It's genuinely been years since this thing has actually been really, really useful for me. So I think it was very useful in the past, but going forward into the future for the next couple of years where I play this game, and obviously like for the last year that I've played this game for, the GT2 RS has not been useful. So to me, it will always remain a passion project, but as for now, it is meh. Now, moving on is the Hennessy Venom GT. This was a passion project. I also needed it, to be fair, because I upgraded this for the final for a car. What car? Oh yeah, the Nissan GTI. Nissan GTI El Nismo. So yeah, I needed it in that sense, but obviously it is an American car, so it is also a passion project. You know, like a car that I need would kind of be more like, if I upgraded it, I would feel like, oh, I don't really want to upgrade it. But at least for the Venom, although I needed it when I upgraded it, I wasn't hesitating to upgrade it. I was like, oh, okay, it's an American car. It fits in my niche. I'm very happy. It's also very, very useful, so I think it's great. Next up is the GTR. Now, I put upgrades into this to help me win the Apollo Intensa Emozione. Once again, it's very, very useful. It is my best Japanese four-wheel drive car, even better than the Mitsubishi Evo 8, and it is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it's low ground clearance and all medium, but it's a car that I use time and time again. It is one of my favorite four-wheel drives to use because it's so heavily upgraded. It's at 669. No, it's 369. It's 369. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. So really good, definitely passion. All right, next up is the Viper GTSR. Now, the Viper GTSR definitely is just a win. It's a passion car. I needed it. It's incredibly useful. It wins me everything. I've had it for a very long time, since I think October 2020. It's just a great car across the board. GTSR is amazing. It's a complete W. Next up is the Porsche 911 Turbo 3.8. It's not passion, sorry. It was needed and meh. I used it for one final where I maxed out the handling, and I've really not used it since, mainly because the GTR track edition exists in my garage. You gotta think about it this way, right? The track edition is 1 RQ cheaper to use, and it is better in my garage. Obviously, if I could get the Porsche to the same upgrade pattern as the track edition would still be better, because the handling is still better on the track edition. So yeah, there you go, it's just meh. And then the Murcielago is a waste of my resources. Now, the difference of the Murcielago and the 959 is that the 959 I upgraded for a prize car, and although it was useless after the prize car, I won the prize car. The Murcielago I upgraded for a prize car. I didn't win the prize car, and it was useless after the prize car. So the Murcielago truly is kind of just the biggest sting. Honestly, when it comes to, and this is for the Jaguar XJR9. Now, I always say that the Jaguar XJR9 is tough. It's hard. But honestly, I think I don't know what stings more, getting 11th in that final or upgrading that piece of crap and not winning it, or just upgrading that piece of crap in general. Like the Murcielago is useless. All right, I know it's a style icon, yes, but I also own the Aventador, and that's a better car anyway at 1 star. Next up, Pikes Peak, obvious W. Porsche 911 Turbo, also needed meh. I love Porsches, but again, the 911 Turbo is kind of like I needed it for the Porsche 918 final. And I upgraded it once, and it actually got a nerf, so it handles worse than it used to as well. It's just not that good. Okay, next up is the 918 Spider. Yeah, that's a W. Demon. Ooh, where did the Demon go? Demon, that's a tough one. I think really early on, when I first won the Demon and when I fully upgraded it, it was a W. Now, is it still considered a... Yeah, it has to be. At the end of the day, guys, I've gotten like 9,000, almost 10,000 races on that car. Although it's not as cool as it used to be, it is still a W, in my opinion. All right, next up is the Hennessy Venom GT Spider. That is also a W. This is honestly the next car that I want to fully upgrade. It is so incredibly useful. I'm always using the GT Spider. It is phenomenal. It's only 1 star. It's 366. That's my upgrade on the GT Spider, and it's better than my Hennessy Venom GT, which I believe is, I think 693. I think my Venom GT is 693, so no upgrades in the handling. I think. Moving on, is the 330D X-Drive Saloon is needed and meh. The thing about the 330D is I would bring it immediately up to W if I maxed it out. The X-Drive Saloon is one of those cars where at stock it's pretty useless, but if you max it out, it is ridiculous. Not a lot of cars fall under that category, but the X-Drive definitely is, that, and also the Caterham Levante. So the Levante, these two cars are very similar, as in like at 1 star at stock, they're pretty worthless, but if you can max them out, these guys are absolute powerhouses. And since we're talking about the Caterham, needed and it's useful. Honestly, I didn't need it for a tri-series, but I understand the Levante. I've said this many times. I don't rate the Levante. I don't think it's a good legendary. Like I said, like the BMW at 1 star, the thing is a piece of crap. But if you can get that car to its potential, then it will be really, really good. So as you can see, the upgrade on my RST Levante, if you can look at the stats, if you know the game very well, or if you know this car very well, the stats on that is actually 009. So I have no upgrades anywhere but the handling. The handling is maxed. That's it. It's 009. The only thing I have it here maxed out for, or maxed out the handling for, is the only thing my Caterham RST Levante is built for is beating super lights, Caterhams, Donkavoids, all that kind of stuff. That's it. Next up, Pagani Zonda S. I needed it and it's useful, not a passion project. I do like the car, but not as much to say it is a passion project. I needed it for a final. Obviously, I won the prize car, which was the HDI FAP, and it's been a useful car since. All right, next up is going to be Monte Carlo. I want to talk about both Monte Carlos. I know I have 2. I forgot what the final was. But all I know is that after I upgraded those 2 cars for that tri-series, I've never used it again. I've honestly even forgotten that my second Monte Carlo was upgraded. So I think this Monte Carlo Turbo, I believe, is 119, and then this one is 112, or sorry, 116. No, if I'm saying no, those are 339 and 336. I think those are the upgrades on that. But yeah, no, after that final, I never use it. Okay, Huracan Performante Spider. I needed it and it's useful. Once again, it won me a Tri-Series prize car. I forgot what it was. It was the same Tri-Series where I needed this Pagani Huayra Roadster, which honestly, it's kind of meh. I barely use it, and that's mainly because I have Rigatoni. So we'll talk about Rigatoni as well. Where's Rigatoni? Yeah, Rigatoni, the tricolor. I mean, I needed it and it's useful. I don't think it's a passion project in my opinion. So yeah, because I have the tricolor, I never use the Huayra Roadster. I think the Huayra Roadster and the Huracan Performante, I use in the same tri-series. There was a convertible Italian Renaissance, something. I can't remember though. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was. It was a big prize car too. It was a very big prize car, but I can't remember what it was. Was it the WRX? It might have been the WRX. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was. was. WRX was Continental, the saloons, the saloon. I can't remember. But the Huracan Performante Spider is a good car. I have the handling maxed out, and I feel like for most Lamborghinis, if you can max out the handling, they're gonna be okay. Well, it depends. I don't think it's most Lamborghinis. Most Lamborghinis that are above RQ92. There we go. But yeah, it's all right. Next up is the Veyron. The Veyron, again, I needed it and it was useful. It has one upgrade into it. I put that upgrade in 2019, so it was a very, very long time ago, and it was for a special Christmas challenge. I think it was a Christmas challenge for a 5 times carbon fiber. So I put an upgrade in that Veyron over there. So it's a 363. That's the upgrade. Next up, Porsche Cayenne. I needed it, but it's meh. Thing is, I own a Lamborghini Urus, and my Lamborghini Urus is also upgraded in the same way. So both of these two cars are 336. So just one upgrade in its handling, and the Urus is a W. It's always been a W since the day I owned it, and I knew when I was competing for this car that it was going to be so incredibly useful, and until today, I'm still correct. But yeah, the Porsche Cayenne, I've not really needed it. The other issue is that the Macan exists, and the Macan is always the better car because the Macan is lighter and it handles about the same. So yeah, and also this car got a handling nerf. So yeah, meh. Next up, EXP 100 GT. I needed it, and it was definitely useful. Definitely. Actually, you know, I'm gonna bump it up. Passion and useful. I actually never upgraded the EXP for an event. I upgraded it because it was like an apologetic upgrade. I was sorry that I said it was bad, and it actually was good. So I actually put in those upgrades out of passion, you can say. So and it turned out to be very useful. I mean, the most obvious example would be electric excellence that is going on right now, where this thing has won me a prize car. So yeah, man, definitely passion. I'm gonna be maxing. I think the next two legendaries I want to max out the most is the EXP 100 GT and the Venom GT Spider and the M5 CS. Next up, Syracuse, passion meh. After the entire American Frontier hype, this car has kind of been useless. And then the BMW M5 is a W. It won me the prize car. It won me the WRX, right? The Peugeot. I love the car. I love saloons. I love 5-seaters. It wins me a lot of money in clubs. It's a W. Next up, the 205 T16. This was needed and useful because off-road 4-wheel drive and medium ground clearance is really strong. This is like the definition of W. Hollywood is the definition of W. I don't care what you say. It is the car. It is the car. Moving on is Mula as well. I think Mula and Hollywood, these two are the cars, I guess. I mean, Blossom Jr. was kind of in that equation until it got nerfed to hell and everybody owns it now, so it kind of devalued in my eyes. Donkavort GTO RS is needed and meh. Now, I would have put it in needed and useful if it didn't get a handling nerf. But it did get a handling nerf. This used to be 97, now it's 95. It's the same thing for the other donk. Well, this thing didn't get a handling cut, to be fair, so I'm gonna say needed and useful. You know me, man. I value handling like crazy. So yeah, 96, 86, and a 95, 91. I would go for the cheaper car that handles better day in, day out. Even though this actually wins over this in many occasions, I would still just gravitate towards the silver. Bloseg. Ooh. Passion and useful. I'm gonna be honest. Actually, it's not. Is it, or is it a W? Nah, it's a W. Okay. Moving on is the Celine S7 Twin Turbo. This one is a very recent upgrade, so it's really hard to judge this. So for now, I'm gonna put it in needed and useful. I put an upgrade in that car for the GTR El Mismo prelims, I believe, where this car was required. And I just wanted to get the carbon fiber, and I got the carbon fiber, so it got its job done. And I think as an American collector, it will be useful in the future, but I definitely needed it more than I liked it. The Porsche Taycan Turbo as well, needed, and I think it's useful. I feel like if I get the handling upgraded or maxed, it might be a W car in the future. Jesko Absolute is a W. I mean, obviously the majority of these cars are going to be on the top because I had to consider everything to max these cars. The Viper, this is just passion and meh. Again, you know, Bollywood I never use. I literally never use Bollywood. I mean, in this time and age of top drives, there are actually epics that are better than Bollywood. and I'm considering Bollywood Max. And if you don't know, I nicknamed my SRT Viper Bollywood. But yeah, it's just a passion project, man. It's just a passion project. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. The BMW M5 CS is passion and meh. I've put in 2 upgrades into this. It's 366. I tell you what, man, I never use it. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just too expensive, or maybe also at the same time, because I have the M5 Max and it's so much cheaper to use, I just gravitate towards that car. I don't know. The thing is, right, I upgraded it so it would have better on-paper stats than the M5, 2795 to 2695, but the M5 has better MRA, so then it actually wins on some tracks, so that means I need to further upgrade my M5 CS. I mean, the M5 CS is the definition of a passion project. If I put in more upgrades and I max it out, it'll be bumped up to passion and useful. But yeah, I've not used it. I've not used it a lot since I've won it, I'll be honest. The second M5 is also, I needed it and it's meh, to be honest. Same thing, WRX. I guess you can say that the M5 falls in the same category of, if it's maxed out, it'll be completely useful, and it'll be a game changer, much like the Caterham and this BMW over here. So this one is 336, one handling upgrade, I think, or no, it's 363. It's 363. Yeah, it's just Mercedes C11, yes, Jean-Louis, as no so much to call it, W, 100%. Cadillac 16 is a W. Porsche RSR 19, I needed it, but it's meh. I know that would piss some people off, but I'm gonna be honest, since that final, which was it was a very good prize car, but I can't remember. Oh, yeah, for the Pikes Peak. It was for the Pikes Peak, which is right here. I needed it then, but I've not used it since, and that's mainly because I have Mula. So yeah, meh. Next up, Lancer Evo 8. Yeah, that's a W. SRT 10, I would say it's passion and useful. It doesn't win me that many races for me to consider it as literally just the definition of W. So I'm gonna give it, passion useful. Moby Dick is needed and useful. Aventador SV is needed and useful. GTR LM is also needed and useful, literally front-wheel drive clubs. McLaren 12C is passion, needed and meh. This one I think is exactly the same as, what was the other car which I put in this category? Oh, it's kind of like the GT2 RS. So the GT2 RS are upgraded, but it's meh. But it's kind of like, the 12C is the same thing. Like, it was great in early game, and then when I got better cars, it just got kind of useless. So that's basically what the 12C is. It was amazing early game, but I can't remember when was the last time I used a 12C. It was years ago. Next up is the Huracan Performante. So the Huracan Performante is... Ooh... That's a tough one. I've been through so much of the Huracan Performante. I won this at the start of 2020, I believe. I actually want to put it in W. Oh, that's too generous. The thing is, I do have a passionate and sentimental connection to the Huracan Performante because of how useful it's been. But at the time of when I upgraded the Huracan Performante, which was for the titanium pack, I didn't upgrade it out of passion. I upgraded it because I needed to. So I like the car, but I'm gonna keep it in needed and useful. If I ever put in another upgrade into that car, then it definitely turns into passion. But for now, the only upgrade I put into it, and I believe it's 363, was because I needed to. Next up is the Subaru Impreza Group A, needed useful, and the 164 Pro car, which is again the definition of W. Yes, surprise, surprise, all of my max legendaries are under W or passion and meh, besides the 959, because like I said, I think about these things a lot. I'm not going to simply max out a Legends, and you're not gonna expect many mistakes. I think the only real mistake was the Murcielago, because everything under needed and meh, although I don't use them after I needed them, when I needed them, they won me what I needed to win. So I'm very proud of how I've, diverted, I guess, my epic resources. At the end of the day, I really only wasted 3 epics, and that is in the Murcielago. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today. Let me know down in the comments below if you found this video interesting. It's always great to learn more about my garage. Well, it's great for me to learn more about my garage, but I like sharing it with you guys too, so I hope you enjoy it. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies. They so fine. Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies. They so fine. Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night.